Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Up to 12th mantra, we have seen things about ourselves. But then, where are we living? We are living in this world. See, the scriptural inquiries include 4 things. One is about us, who we are, what we are. Second thing, what is this world? The third thing is, who is God? So this Jiva Jagat Ishvara, this is the inquiry conducted in the spiritual path. In case of the religious path, this inquiry is not conducted. We are so much overpowered by our desires and worries that we have no time for inquiry. See, it is something like a person who is having tremendous headache, splitting headache, let us say a migraine. That time you ask him, will you please tell me something on Gita? He'll give one. He's so disgusted with his own headache, and you add to it. So, those people who are following the religious path, they have no time, no interest in inquiry. And those who are lost in this world, they want to improve the world, they want to create a beautiful world. Hoge kamayam ekadin. Kab hoge Bhagwan? See, friends. So, those who are lost in this world, for them, religion has no meaning. I don't believe in God. I am atheist. One boy told me, Swami, I am atheist, I don't believe in God. I said, who cares? You may believe, you may not believe. Do you think your belief is needed by God? Or you need it? Even if you don't believe, who cares? See? And when you are insisting that you don't believe in God, that itself tells you are believing in God. See? Will you go on insisting again and again that I don't believe that I am a woman, I am a man, I don't believe I am a man. Nobody told you that you are a woman. Why you are telling it again and again? So all those atheists, those who claim they are essentially not atheists. Only they want to have a separate status like that. So, Jiva Jagat Ishvara, these are the 3 inquiries to be conducted. For conducting an inquiry, what is needed is a cool mind. A disturbed mind cannot conduct inquiry, it can take revenge. It will never have a cool mind to look into all the aspects of life. Therefore, after we are taken care of, who is this I, who is living the waking dream, deep sleep, but what is our essential nature, all this topic about Jiva, individual, we are taken care of. Now what is this world? Shakti dvayam hi mayaya vikshepa vrutya rupakam vikshepa shaktir lingadi brahmandantam jagat srujet. Now this Paramatma has 2 potentialities, 2 Shakti dvaya, 2 potentialities. See, whenever we use this word Maya or Shakti, we get carried away by the traditional understanding. Maya means miyate anaya ya sa maya. That because of which something is measured is called as Maya. For example, space is infinite. In that space we measure. How far is Bengaluru from here? 20 kilometers. So the 20 kilometers is the measurement. And if we imagine beyond this 20 kilometers there is nothing, then we are under the influence of Maya. This is outer. Now go inside. What our eyes can see is only from the violet up to the red, Vibgyor spectrum of light waves. Our eyes cannot go beyond it. If we insist, whatever I can see, that only I accept, whatever I don't see, I don't accept, then we are under the influence of Maya. Unless I see God, I don't believe. When you see God, you don't have to believe. You already seen. Because you have not seen, you have to believe. See, friends. Therefore, this Maya means when we are under the influence of some limitations and we take these limitations to be real and we do not want to go beyond these limitations, then we are under the influence of Maya. So, Shakti Dvayam hi Mayaya Vikshepa Avrutti Rupakam. Now what happens? First, I don't know what it is. See, unless you bring the snake and the rope, Vedanta is not complete. You know, this is the most important principle of Vedanta. You may know Brahman or no, doesn't matter. You must know the snake and the rope. The snake is meant for the disciples to be beaten, and the rope is meant for the Guru to hang himself. Then both of them disappears. What remains is Brahman. See. So, in the evening dim light, I step on something, then it moved. So I saw there is something. That is incomplete knowledge. It's not absence of knowledge. This is a wrong translation many people give. Ignorance is not absence of knowledge. Ignorance is incompleteness in knowledge. Knowledge can never be absent. So there is something, but what is that I do not know. So that is avrutti, it is covering. So what has covered that object? The dim light, the wrong means of knowledge. Instead of seeing by the eyes, we have stepped on it and it little bit moved and we thought it is a snake. So first step is when we do not know something what it is, this is avaran, this is covering. So the covering is there is something, but what is that it is not known, it is avaran, ignorance, ajnana. Then the mind comes to our help. Then the mind projects. Maybe there is a snake here and the snake has beaten me. See, if the snake has beaten you, then we will see whether the dead snake is there or not. If the dead snake is not there, then it cannot. Because after biting you, snake can't survive. See, friends. So we go with a torch to see not the rope. We go to see the snake. See. But what we ultimately see by proper means of knowledge is the torch, your eyes. And when you go to see that snake with the torch and your eyes, you go with a stick also to kill it. And the moment you see that there is no snake, then you come to know it was just a mental projection. Now be attentive. Now where that snake was seen? Was the snake on the rope like this wire is on this rod? Was that snake in the eyes? Was that snake in the mind? Where was the snake? Snake was nowhere. It simply appeared. Exactly the same way. These two infinite potentiality of the Lord, Maya, of the Maya, they are Avrutti and Vikshepa Rupakam. These are the two things. If you do not know, keep quiet. Do you know that man I don't know who is he, but maybe a cheat. Arre? Where from the cheat has come? So our mind is constantly projecting, and thereafter that projection is taken by us as real. See, this is how the boy and the girl, they fall in love. It's only projection. That useless boy goes to a garden. All those who go to garden, they are unemployed, unemployable. Where is the time to go to garden? He goes to the garden. There is not that, the girls are lagging behind. They are also equally unemployed, unemployable. So one girl goes there. Now this boy looks at her. He has looked at so many girls in the whole world, but nothing happens. Now with this girl, he starts projecting. Why she has come here? Must be God's providence. And then she looks at him. And then Gabbar Singh comes. And then this fellow becomes very strong. And slowly, the mind starts projecting one after another. And finally, the burden of the projection is so much that both of them fall. They call it love. This is how the samsara begins. We don't see in this world what is. We decide to see something, and that only we see. See, friends. So, Shakti Dvayam hi Mayaya Vikshepa Vritti Rupakam Vikshepa Shakti Lingadi Brahmandantam Jagat Sruje. So, this projection is creating the whole world. See, it is something like this. Waters and her potentiality, Shakti. So when the Shakti becomes invoked, the water expresses as ocean. There are no oceans of stones and bricks, because that potentiality to express as ocean is hidden only in the waters. Thereafter, that ocean further projects and the waves come out. So out of the waters, first at a causal level, ocean has come out, and at the effect level, the waves have come out. Thereafter, we start talking about ocean and the waves. Then we give a name, ocean the cause, waves the effect. And then one day we go and meet the waters. Water bhaiya, water is from UP. Water bhaiya, Anji. See, as ocean, you are terrible man, we are afraid. But waves we like. What the water will say? Excuse me, gentlemen, what is this ocean? And what is the wave? So actually what is happening? We are seeing the waters, but we are calling it as ocean and the waves. See, in the same manner, we are seeing Paramatma, but we are calling it as a Jagat, we are calling it as a Jiva, we are calling it as a Ishvara. So we are calling names to water. The water is called names, ocean and waves. When you call names to somebody, you don't get a prize, you get a kicks. In the same manner, when the Paramatma is called names, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, then we get the kicks. Those kicks are called as samsara. See, friends, this change in the vision is the purpose of study of scriptures. Upanishad says, Isha vasimidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Idam sarvam yat kincha, whatever insignificant it may be in the whole universe, it is all permeated by the divine principle. I agree, but my neighbor, over. See, friends, therefore Upanishad says, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhyaha. The truth is not for the weaklings. We have to have the courage to deny, to hate anybody in this world. So, Vikshepa Shakti, now this projection power starts creating from the creator to the created. So now the whole picture you see. In place of water you keep Brahman. In case of Maya, keep the potentiality of Paramatma. And this potentiality is creating an illusion of multiplicity and projection. And this is how out of one Paramatma, Jiva Jagat Ishvara comes out. Now, after having done this, we go further. Srushtir Nama Brahma Rupe Satchidananda Vastuni Abdau Phenadivat Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana. See? Brahma Rupe Satchidananda Vastuni, in the infinite Satchidananda, blissful conscious reality, this world is what Srushti Nama, it is Abdau Phenadivat. Like on the ocean, waves, ripples, breaker, Katrina, tsunami, bubbles. These are only names. Essentially, it is only the ocean. In the same manner, on this one Paramatma, this Nama Rupa Prasarana. So what is the world? World is only names and forms. Remove the names and the forms, the world disappears. Be attentive. Mind cannot survive without names and without forms. Expose the mind to absolute silence, not relative silence. What we know is relative silence. Don't make any noise. Meditation in progress, take detour. We are already suffering inside. You don't add. Meditation. This silence, what we know, is opposed to the noise. What silence we are talking is that silence which cannot be disturbed by the noise, which cannot be enhanced by the silence. Prashanti. So, this mind cannot sustain in the absolute silence. And therefore, the mind is constantly, be attentive, chattering with itself. One basic principle I'll tell you, many people talk about yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Be attentive. Thoughts cannot express without words. When we come out of the house, we don't come out naked. We put on the clothes and then come out. Exactly the same way, when the thoughts come out of the mind, they dress themselves in the clothing of words. Try to think without words. You cannot. And therefore, what the mind does for its own survival, either it will go in the dead past. The basic principle we don't understand. Nobody is interested in our past. Everybody is concerned about their future. But we have no future. Old people, what future they have got? No future. Waiting till death. कब आ रही है पता नहीं यार, वेट कर रहे. See friends. And therefore, to survive themselves, old people keep on talking about their past. जब हम बच्चे थे, who cares? See friends, this is how the mind survives. Or the mind keeps on talking to itself. When we are in the company of others, we get victims. Make them listen. And when we are all with ourselves, we start talking to ourselves. And what we talk to ourselves? About the future. वहाँ जाके ऐसे करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, and you never go there. See friends, this is how the mind survives only because of names and forms. Drop the names, mind dissolves. When you drop the words, thoughts cannot survive. There are two techniques. One is stop talking to yourself. And this you can do anytime, anywhere. See? And second thing, listen to the silence. Your mind will dissolve. But we are constantly chattering inside. That's why inside we are not one. We are a fish market. So this is how Paramatma with the names and the forms is world. So abdau fenadivat sarva nama rupa prasarana. Now be attentive. If you call the gold as a gold, then it is okay. If you call gold as the wedding ring, if you call the gold as the Krishna, if you call the gold as Devi, then it is an abuse to the gold. Because this wedding ring, Krishna or Devi, they can be dissolved. And because of these names and forms, one gold appears in multiplicity, in manyness. See, forms are many, formless is one. Sounds are many, silence is one. So all the words come out of the silence. They go back to the silence. That silence is the real silence. The silence we understand is the silence which is opposed to the sound. We are not talking about that silence. We are talking about that silence which is not opposed to anything. See? So, abdho fenadivat, like the one waters in the ocean appears multiple through the waves, etc. in the same manner, because of the names and the forms, Paramatma appears to have become many. Antara drugdrushyayor bhedam bahishcha brahma sargayoho avrudottya parashakti sa samsarasya karanam. Now this Shakti, which is antar drugdrushyayoho bhedam avrudoti aparashakti. Now one potentiality is antar inner drugdrushyayoho bhedam, inside the seer and the seen. So when we are talking, there are two things created. See, if you ask me like that, I will tell him like that. But what he can think about it? But he may ask like that, then I will tell him like that. So we only create an opponent, we raise a question from his side and we reply from our side, and when he does that way, then I do this way. And none of that ever happens. So here inside we create the knower known difference, and similarly outside Brahma Sargayoho. So we are seeing Paramatma, but we call it as a world. We are inside essentially divine, but we call ourselves a Jiva. See friends, be attentive. It's a very subtle point. It is easier to comprehend and accept. All the ornaments are nothing but gold. All the waves are nothing but ocean. Not difficult to understand and accept. But this world, everything is Paramatma. How it is possible? Stones Paramatma, living being Paramatma, donkey Paramatma, neighbor Paramatma. See, something is sentient, something is inert, something is stationary, something is mobile. Some health is Paramatma, disease is Paramatma. Gain is Paramatma, loss is Paramatma. Friend is Paramatma, enemy is... How it is possible? Why we are not able to comprehend it? Because the basic error. Our attention is not on the substratum. Our attention is only on the superimposed things. So, if we observe everything in this world, every being in this world is recognized as is, existence alone. Mic is inert. The electricity is energy, also existence. The chair is existence, inert. The chair person is the living being. The dead body is everything and being recognized only as existence. Existence is not qualifying whether sentient existence or the insentient existence, whether holy existence or unholy existence. When our attention is on this existence, be attentive, you are that. See, take these two things, mic and the book. How the mic is recognized? Mic is. How the book is recognized? Book is. In between, there is nothing. So what is that nothing? That nothing is me. Because I have to be to establish the presence of the mic, the presence of the book, and also their absence. So that which is absent in and through everything and yet supports everything. So that which is supporting even the existence, that which is supporting even the absence, and therefore it is beyond the existence and absence. That absolute existence is the truth. Therefore, whether you want or you don't want, you are divine. Whether you know or you don't know, you are divine. See, friends, there is nothing like you are a sinner and you will go to hell. See, friends, therefore, antar drushyo bhedaha baishya brahma sargayoho avrunoti aparashakti sa samsarasya karanam. And because of this division, samsara begins. See? In Ishavasya, the first mantra is so beautiful when it is said, Om Ishavasya midam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. If you have this vision, everything is Paramatma, what will be the net result? Tena tyaktena bhanjitha. Your idea of indulgence in this world will dissolve. Now we are looking at this world as a place for indulgence. Tena tyaktena, this attitude of indulgence will be discarded. See, take a simple example to understand this point. In a place, Bits Pilani, they have got one very beautiful Saraswati temple. And right from the road up to the Saraswati, everything is made out of marble. Beautifully maintained, beautifully kept. So when you start stepping on the steps, that time your feelings are different. And as you go crossing all the steps and stand before Saraswati, that time you do namaskar to Saraswati, not to the floor. Essentially, both of them are only marble. But in that Saraswati, you are suspecting divinity, and therefore you don't feel like stepping on it. In the same manner, when this vision becomes enlivened, Ishavasya sarvam, there cannot be any bhoga vritti. Then it will be only surrender, service. There cannot be enmity. A wave cannot be inimical to the ocean. Wave will be inimical to another wave. But when the wave is looking at the ocean, no competition, no jealousy, no enemy, no friendship, no nothing, only surrender. Ishavasya sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha. Therefore, all the great masters, they do not have this idea that somebody is my enemy and somebody is my friend. Bhagavan Krishna says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha. For me, everyone is the same. There is nobody near to me or inimical to me. See, friends, then we are really studying the scriptures and walking the spiritual path. Otherwise, we are still in the Prakriti. You may have all the powers of Prakriti. Therefore, please recognize this. When we take the world real, we get lost in dharma and your yoga. When you take the experiencer, jiva real, then you get lost in all the siddhis, blessing somebody, going to hell, going to heaven, brahmalok, and this lok and that lok. But when you go out of it, come to your essential nature, then the real spirituality begins. See? Otherwise, I'll tell you one story. Let us take from Mahabharata. Durvas Rishi, he went to Draupadi ji. Give me food. Because he was purchased and sent by Duryodhana to make her miserable. And he went. He had all the powers. He was the Rishi. And she had nothing. So he said, I am going, I'll finish bath and come with 60,000 disciples. You can imagine. And she was so frightened because if you don't give food, I'll curse you. Wherever there is a language of blessing and cursing, you are far away from spiritual path. On a spiritual path, there is no language of cursing and blessing. Bhagavan Krishna neither cursed anybody nor blessed anybody. Therefore, he clearly tells, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. For me, everything is the same. But when I have got powers, I can bless somebody, I curse somebody. Naturally, a sense of otherness is valid. Until such time, Dvaita is valid, we are in samsara. In absolute, there is no question of blessing or cursing anybody. See, friends, therefore, samsarasya karanam, samsara begins only from here. I curse you, you curse me. Parasparam karsayantaha. See, the whole samsara continues. See, friends, साक्षिण पुरतो भाति लिंगम देहेन संयुतम चितिच्छाया समावेशा जीवस्याल व्यावहारिकः अस्य जीवत्वमारोपात् साक्षिण्यप्यवभासते आवृतौ तो विनिष्ठायां भेदे भाते पयाति तत्. Now about the jiva is told, soul. See, many times we use the words without proper understanding. Every subject has its own vocabulary. We have to know the vocabulary pertaining to a particular subject. Like, one common thing which kids say, why Shivji and Parvati ji could not learn computer? A simple question. And children, they play, they have the PJ. PJ means poor joke. So, I don't know why Swami don't know this thing because Ganesh ji took away the mouse. Now that word mouse, it has the same spelling. But the meaning of the word mouse in computer science and in your biology is totally different. In the same manner, here the teacher is telling, Jiva. Jiva means what? So we take it for granted. Jiva means a soul. And what is the soul? Soul means Jiva. See? And then we are told, see, there is one Jiva per body. Like there is one soul per shoe, there is one soul in each body. And when the soul is broken, the shoe is thrown. In the same manner, when the soul leaves the body falls dead. And we accept it blindly. Find out what the Jiva is. To understand this Jiva, take your day-to-day example. Man is Brahman, husband is Jiva. So who is the husband? Man plus the limitations of the wife and expression of the infinite man through the miserable limitations is called as the husband. Three things. Can the husband be husband without the wife and without himself being a man? No. Now out of these three, which is the essential factor, is a man. If man is not there, there cannot be husband. But if husband is not there, man can be there. So if we want to describe who is the husband, the husband is a Jiva. So who is the husband? Husband will be these three factors put together. In the same manner, who is Jiva? Jiva is Paramatma expressing through the limitations of the subtle body, and that limited expression of the infinite Paramatma, these three things put together is called as Jiva or the soul. Be attentive. When I, the husband, was fortunate enough to get rid of my wife, after she has gone, what happened to me, the husband? Nothing happened. Because without wife, I cannot be a husband. Then again I got married. Second husband. So am I again born as a Jiva? Or the first husband has gone out of me and again he has entered in me? Think. See, friend, husband is a common noun, it is not a proper noun. Similarly, Jiva or the soul is a common noun, it is not a proper noun. Every fool getting married to another fool is called as husband. See, friends, in the same manner, Paramatma expressing through the limitations of the Panchakoshas, that limited expression is called as the Jiva or the soul. So it is just a common phenomenon. It is not the individuality. But in your Dharma Shastra, Yoga Shastra, and this Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, there they take Jiva as the individuality. If that is removed, their whole mansion will collapse. Therefore, they always talk about last life, this life, next life, going to hell, going to heaven. Who goes to hell? Who goes to heaven? See, friends, Upanishad very clearly says, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhyaha. Those who are weaklings, it is not for them. Therefore, I mentioned it very clearly. You are here in a gym. If you are thinking, we are come to a hospital and we will get some solutions, you will get not solution. Nothing you will get. On the contrary, everything will be taken away. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatva manashu. It's not something great. You do every day the same thing. When we go to sleep, what we do? Give up everything. Including the I, what we were sustaining and exhibiting in the world. So such a simple thing called as sleep needs renunciation of everything. Abidance in the truth naturally demands much more than that. So, sakshinaha purato bhati lingam dehena sayutam. So, the subtle body and the presence of the witness in consciousness as a reflection. So, these three things put together is called as the jiva or the soul. Thereafter, asya jivatvam aropya sakshini avabhasate. Now, this notion of the jiva is also superimposed on the Paramatma Sakshini. And avruttauta vinishtayam bhede bhate apayatitat. And the moment this wrong notion of the jiva is dissolved, everything ends. See, friends, just it is so simple and straight. As a child, I was a baby. When the body has grown into a teenage, now I as a baby, where she has gone? Then the body continued growing. The teenage has gone, middle age has come. Now I as a teenager, where has he gone? Then the middle age also disappeared. The body is growing. It has become old. So where the middle age me has gone. They can go somewhere if they exist. See, friends, Bhagavan says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namuyati. Like the same body goes through so many changes, but the unchanging substratum is remaining the same. And therefore, when our childhood body has gone, we did not mourn. And when teenage body was born, we did not say happy birthday. And when the teenage body disappeared, old age has come, we don't mourn the teenage gone. No, we are the same. Be attentive. This is one of the highest spiritual practice. Don't talk about your past. Past belongs to your body, not to you. Whenever we talk about our past, our body identification is not dropped. Childhood belongs to body, not to you. Teenage belongs to the body, not to you. But when you talk about your childhood, teenage, or any part of your earlier life, you are keeping your identification with the body intact. See, this we don't want. We want, Maharaji, kuch mantra de do. And give me powerful mantra. See? One person asked me, one lady, Swamiji, my Guru gave me mantra, I have been doing it for so many years, but nothing has happened. I said, to whom? To Guru? Or to you? Or to mantra? I don't know, nothing has happened. I like you, you give me powerful mantra. I said, okay, start, repeat after me. Dhum dhadaka, powerful mantra. Don't be a weakling. Discover your inner strength. See, so important it is. All the changes are happening to the body. Wherever there is change, it is samsara. Where there is no change, it is Paramatma. Wherever there is a movement, it is samsara. When there is no movement, no samsara. See? Take an example to understand this point. When you are sitting next to the window in a train and the train is moving pretty fast, you look outside. You will see a beautiful phenomenon. The things which are right next to your train, they will be seen going in the opposite direction. There will be some point where the point is stationary, doesn't move backward or forward. If you look at the distant mountains, etc., they will be seen running along the direction of your train. And when you see all the three of them, It will be a center and everything is revolving around it. Next time you see, observe this. And this will be seen till such time you are sitting in a running train. And then, next experiment, jump out of the running train. Nothing will be seen. See, friends. So what was happening? The movement of the train was superimposed on the stationary land, and what was not there, that was seen. Exactly the same way. The movement, the changes in the body, the world, etc., they are illuminated by us, the changeless. Instead of focusing attention on these changes substratum, we are so extrovert. Friends, this world has always been like this. Don't waste your time on this world. Those who are thinking they are doing good to the world, social service, they are harming themselves. You can't improve this world. This world has always been like this. See, friends, many people have got funny things about the politicians. Go throughout the world, it is the same breed. Don't get lost in that. Our only purpose of life is to know ourselves. Everything else must drop. Till this date, whatever life we have lived, have we discovered fulfillment in life? If we have not discovered fulfillment, then we were on the wrong track. Now give it another chance. With the same zeal with which we lived our life according to our understanding. Now we have complete data. Now stop, do a second experiment and follow what the scriptures tell. And see the difference. You will be your own judge to find out whether you have lived your life to fulfill your desires or to attain fulfillment in life. See, friend, don't get lost in this world. This world has always been like this. All those who have come to save this world, they were all shaved off. Nobody can change this world. But we feel like me, who is there? One day I was going by a train many years before in that two-tier AC. So I was on the upper berth. And those people, those who give tea, coffee, etc., they came. And he said, "Arey Maharaj ji, aap hai gaadi mein?" Yes. Kya aapki seva karo? What should I serve you? I said, "Get me black tea, no milk, no sugar." He got me. Then I said, "How much I have to pay?" "Maharaj ji, itna to seva ka mauka do. I will not take money from you. Please allow me to serve." He said, "Okay, then get every 4 hours." Free. And when I was just talking, there was one person sitting there. He said, "You people are very lucky." I said, "You also can be lucky. I got extra dress in my clothes." Nobody stopped you. There is no legal institution to give you a cloth. You can. Like your marriages are legal things. A Babaji is not a legal thing. Nor it is illegal. Because it doesn't exist. It's only appearance. So, then I asked, he said, "What do you do?" I said, "I do nothing, therefore I am Babaji." Then, "How are you traveling by this AC?" I said, "People like you give me money to travel." Then I had to ask him out of formality, "Babaji, what do you do?" Any old man you want to please, ask about his past and don't listen. So I asked him, "What do you do?" He said, "I am a freedom fighter." You know, the freedom fighters are fighting to increase their pension. See, can there be a better joke than this? See? Our condition is like, I am working as a volunteer, but they don't pay me. Volunteer doesn't get money. All the NGOs are this type, non-godly organizations. So, he said, I am a freedom fighter. But I said, you are fighting for your more salary and all that. Of course, everything has increased. I said, those who were fighting for the freedom, they were not doing it as a bargain in exchange of money. He said, no, but we want it. I said, anyway, very good. Now, you are fighting for freedom. Did you get the freedom? Or you are still fighting? And freedom from whom? See? Earlier Britishers were looting, then Mughals were looting. Now your own people are looting. Who is free? The real freedom is only freedom from your mind. Our mind is the one which is keeping us in bondage. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho bandhai vishaya saktam muktam nirvishayam smrutam. Amrita Bindu Upanishad says, mind is the cause of bondage, mind is the cause of freedom. When the mind is extrovert, it is the cause of bondage. When the mind has dropped extrovertedness, it is the cause of freedom. We all suffer only because of our own mind. Nobody can make us miserable except our own mind. And if we can mind our mind, we have done a great spiritual practice. See, friends, therefore, here the jivatva, the soul I am. So find out what the soul is. Jivatva aropat sakshini api avabhasate. And then the sakshi chaitanya is eternal and the jiva is temporary. So the jiva bhava of the jiva, which is temporary, and eternity of the sakshi chaitanya, they are mixed together, and we come to a conclusion that jiva is eternal. And it is true, eternal, without any beginning. Paramatma is without beginning, jiva is also without beginning. How it is possible? Tell me. Since how long our shadow is falling on the road? Without beginning. Why? Because shadow never exists. It's only appearance. See, friends, we study light, we don't study darkness. Darkness is absence of light. Therefore, the jiva imagines to be eternal and want to live eternally, and therefore, I want to go to heaven. And what will you do in the heaven? Come back again here. Therefore, avruttautu vinisthayam bhede bhate apayadita. And the moment this notion that I am the husband disappears, and I discover that I am the man, thereafter I start playing the role of husband so beautifully well that even the wife gets confused. What happened? He has become so good these days. In the same manner, you play the role of jiva, whatever you have to be. So, if you have to do what your duty, do it then beautifully. But always remember, this is just a drama going on. But how to lead drama everywhere? What are you doing now? As if listening. See? After the lecture is over, again come back to square one. And they ask also question. One question. See, when you tell it is so simple and easy to understand, no difficulty. But the moment we go out, put on our shoes, everything is forgotten. What should we do? Don't put on the shoes. See? So simple it is. Then I say, okay, I'll ask you a question. You reply that. That will be the reply to your question. See, in the morning at about 7 o'clock, I take a cup of tea. But again at about 10 o'clock, I feel hungry. Then what should I do? Come on, take some breakfast. Okay, I take breakfast. But after I take breakfast 10 o'clock, again 1 o'clock I feel hungry. What should I do? Come on, Swami, you are a baby, or eat food. Don't scold me, Mama. Okay, I eat food at 1 o'clock. But again at 5 o'clock I feel hungry, what should I do? Again eat something, don't eat my head. Okay. Then again after that, at night 9 o'clock, again I feel hungry, what should I do? This is too much, Swamiji, eat whatever you like, don't ask me question. Mama, don't get angry, my question is not over. This is not one day, this is every day. Eat every day. I said, this is the answer to your question. For getting your useless degrees, BA, BSc, etc., you spend your whole life. But when it comes to spiritual knowledge, when we are unfit for everything, when we don't remember anything, बहू मैंने खाना खाया क्या? 25 बार खाया है. So when we don't remember anything, then we want to study scriptures. See? When we don't understand anything, then we want to make notes. When we cannot sit in one posture for 3 seconds, we want to do yoga. In short, for us, spirituality is when we are unfit for everything, we are fit for spirituality. See, friends, one person in Allahabad, I went to their house, big table, we are all sitting. And they had a huge structure called their only son. Uneducated, not working, not doing anything. Huge, 6 plus 4 plus. So he was standing like Vivekananda. I said, Mahatma ji, come on, join for food. Aap lo. I think I came only for that. Because he was so strong, there is no point in argument. Durjanam prathamam vande. Then his mother felt bad. He said, Swamiji, he is like that. We are fed up of him. He doesn't study, he doesn't work. And you have seen how strong he is. My husband and me, we are afraid of him. And he is only shouting, he is good for nothing. Why don't you take him with you to ashram? See? So, I told her, I said, my mummy also sent me like that only. Good for nothing. So our understanding about spirituality is when we are unfit everywhere, then we are fit for spirituality. Satya hai. See, friends, don't have that wrong notion. Therefore, unless you sort out this, what is this Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, Paramatma? Unless you sort it out, nobody can help you. See. Tatha sarga brahmanoscha bhedamavritya tishtati ya shakti tadvashat brahma vikrutatvena bhasate. So like the same Paramatma which is appearing as a Jiva with reference to the body, in the same manner, the same Paramatma in the form of creation and non-creation. Be attentive. In our scriptures, all the topics are meant only for focusing and bringing our attention to our essential self. Any topic you take. Creation is not discussed to prove creation. Once I was traveling in US and the person who was driving me, he was a professor of physics and only he had me in the car. He said, Swamiji, now there is nobody, I will get nice chance to talk to you and ask my questions and doubts. I couldn't jump out. When somebody comes to, my God, again, sir, khana shuru ho jayega. See, my head has become empty. People have eaten so much. Now there is only aloo. So he asked, Swamiji, what is the theory of creation according to Vedanta? I told him, we don't answer stupid questions. He felt so disgusted. Why stupid question? I said, look here. When you say when the world was created, what do you mean? There was a time when there was no world. Then only the creation is possible. You can ask, when the baby was born, he is right. Earlier the baby was not, now she is born. So creation, when you ask a question, you presuppose that there was a time when there was no creation. On what ground do you say that there was no creation? You only imagine. See? And second thing, when you say when the creation was created, you have imagined time as a straight line, which has the beginning, which has the end. But time is not a straight line. It is a Kala Chakra. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, go on round. When you go to Delhi, near your Mathura, etc., so many places it is written. Satyayug aayega, Jai Gurudev, Satyayug aayega. So people always ask, Swamiji, what do you have to say? Satyayug aayega? I said, forget about that, you answer my question. What is today? He said, today is Sunday. Monday aayega. See? How many yugas are there? 4 yugas. Satyayug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yug. Which is Yuga now? Kali Yug. What will come? Oh, it is so simple. It is simpler than that. See, friends, time is not a straight line. It is a chakra, wheel. And on the circumference, every point is the beginning and every point is the end, where from you begin. See? When Kamsa was told by the 8th child or the 7th child, you will be killed. So he was saying, anyway, let the 8th child come, what is the hurry? Let other children live. Naradji gave a chavi. He said, do you know, that 8 depends on where from you start counting. Every number could be 8. See? In the same manner, when you talk about creation, if it is a straight line, then beginning and end. On a circumference, there is no beginning, no end. Be attentive. But the circumference always have a center. And the center is never non-existent. Without the center, circumference cannot be. See, friends. Then why this creation theory is told? The creation is told to bring to your knowledge that you were there before, you are now, you will come to be there afterwards. Therefore, these things come and go, you are the eternal self. It is for this purpose, tatha brahma sarganoscha bhedamavritya tishtati. Similarly, the names and the forms is the world, and remove the names and the form, it is Paramatma. And in this manner, this one reality appears to have become many because of the superimposition of the names and forms. Atrapya vritinashena vibhati brahma sargayoho vedastayo vikarasya sargena brahmani kvachita. And in this case also, when this ignorance wheel is uplifted, removed, then what happens? Bhedatayoho vikarasyat. Then we come to know the difference is Bheda is not the reality. The substratum is the reality. And therefore, the conclusion in the 20th verse. Asti bhati priya nama rupa iti pancha amshakam adyatrayam brahma rupam jagadrupam tatodvayam. What is this world therefore? This world has 5 aspects. Asti, it is. Bhati, it is known. Priya, it is useful. Nama, it has a name and form. Out of these 5, Nama Rupa is the world, Asti Bhati Priya is the Paramatma. See, Gold is the Paramatma and wedding ring is the Nama and the Rupa. So the wedding ring is having association with the emotions, not with the gold. See? One person went to the jeweler to keep his wedding ring. So the jewelers are very clear, they are the devotees of Lord Narayana. So they took out the shaligram and wanted to rub that ring against that stone. So the person, hey, come on, don't rub it, it is my wife's and my, great memories and emotions and all that. So the jeweler is cool, cold-blooded animal. He said, look here, I am not touching your emotions. I want to see whether it is gold or fake. See, friends. But for that man, Nama Rupa is so important. And that is what made him miserable. Had he not married, he would not. See, friends. So, Nama Rupa is the samsara. This is the conclusion. Now be attentive. Where is Nama and where is the Rupa? Nama and Rupa is only in our mind. See, there is no simpler spiritual practice than this. Come back to your mind. Mind cannot survive without names and without forms. If the mind is exposed to silence and nirakar, formless, mind will dissolve. Like the ice dissolves into the waters, mind dissolves in consciousness. Water plus form is ice. Ice minus form is water. Similarly, consciousness plus names and forms is mind. Mind minus names and form is consciousness. That is the reason why after sannyas, names and forms are changed. See, whatever is your earlier name, drop it. Now you are Google Ananda. See? Similarly, form, you people dress so decent way, but Babajis are dressing in a weird way. Change the name and the form and drop your total past. That is the real sannyas. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Dehannyaso hi sannyasa, naiva kashaya vasasa, naham deho mahatmeti nishchayam jnana lakshanam. The real sannyasi is living with zero body identification. But you will see many places, they write Swami Gadvadananda bracket ex IAS officer. You can see that. It's not, I'm not joking. They do write that. See? And they also address by the earlier names. After having taken sannyas, there is no question that you are alive, you are dead. In Sannyas Diksha, this Viraja Homa is done. And then Pindadani, we have conducted our own Shraddha. I have given Pindadan to myself. So for all practical purposes, I am dead. Don't touch me. If you touch, take bath. See, friends, that is why wherever there is name and form given up, that is a place of, it's a holy place. That is why in our tradition culture, when Mandakini comes from Kedar and Alaknanda comes from Badrinath, they meet together at Rudraprayag. Why the Rudraprayag is a holy place? Because there Mandakini gives up her name and form. Thereafter she is called only as Alaknanda. Wherever names and forms are given up, holiness manifests. Because name and form is samsara. See, friends, how straight it is. But we are so much lost in that useless thing, name and form. That is the samsara. Therefore, Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam Jagad Rupam Tatodvayam. That is the reason why every sannyasi's name is ending with Ananda. At least for the name's sake, be happy. You must have come across many Babaji like me, all the time frustrated. क्या करूँ यार, कोई देता ही नहीं, क्या दरिद्री. See friends, खव वायवाग्निर्जलोर्विषु देवतिर्यं नरादिषु अभिन्ना सच्चिदानंदा विद्येते नाम रूपनी रूपनामनि. See, these five great elements, the space, air, fire, water, earth, and Deva, all the gods, Tiryak, the animals, then Nara, human beings, etc. In and through all of them, Satchidanandaha Abhinnaha. There is one Satchidananda Paramatma that alone is expressing through multiplicity without becoming many. Like the ocean is expressing through many waves without becoming many. See friends, but what happens? Our attention goes on the multiplicity and not on the unity. Changing this attention is the real spiritual practice. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.